What's going on, guys? National Master James Canty III here, and today we're covering classic games from Wilhelm Steinitz, the first world champion. Let's get right into it, guys. I'm using the Forward Chess app. I'll put a link to the Forward Chess app for free right under the video for you guys to pick up. So here we go. All right, so Wilhelm Steinitz, London in 1862. Here we go. E4 at D5. Snapping on D5, Scandinavian life here. I'm not a Scandi fan. I have tried it. I looked at it. I was like, oh, Scandinavian, you know, but because it's a big hype. And honestly, it's a solid opening. You just got to know what you're doing. But there are times that you can just crush the Scandinavian based off of user error. So after queen takes D5, knight C3, and queen to D8. He puts the queen on a back rank here. This is a very popular line now that people actually use, queen D8. Queen A5, it actually says, what is it? A move that is mentioned back in ancient manuscripts, more popular than the natural queen a5, with definite counter chances, as even occurred in the Kasparov and non-match back in 1995. So knight to c3, d4 is on the board, and then e6. I'm not a fan of the e6 move because the bishop's just blocked in. With the bishop being blocked in, I'm feeling great. My bishop likes to go to d3. I'm attacking the h7. I play knight f3. I'm castling. I'm mating the black king very quickly, unless they go queen side. And a lot of times if you set up too fast, black notices that and switches everything to the queen side. So you have to be careful here. It says knight after knight f6. Bobby Fischer played bishop c4, and after bishop f5, queen f3. Yeah, I've seen this before. But knight f3 was the move here from Steinitz. Knight f6. Bishop d3, bishop e7. This is the setup I use now. I use it now still. And of course, Steinitz was an aggressive player. Of course, King's Gambit, right? King's Gambit kind of life. And that's all that he used for a while, right? But here, he does a lot of tactics. I've seen some games that was like Wilhelm Steinitz was a monster attacker, right? So let's go through this and see if we can learn something attacking-wise. Castles. And castles. Okay, it says this is a French type of position has arisen, but with an extra tempo for white. That's great, actually. In black's justification, it can be said that similar position with a bishop at c4 occurred in the Aliakin Schechler Carlsbad 1911. Okay, so bishop e3. Yeah, bishop e3 was the main move. We're just gonna go through main moves. Bishop e3. Bishop e3. Do I actually do this? I usually go queen to e2 all the time. What do they say? An alternative is queen e2. Okay, so let's look at this alternative here. This is what I play, and then knight to c6 and rook d1. I like this all day. I'm in a position to go to work here. Knight to b4. Now, of course, that is annoying, so you want to move the bishop, knight b to d, and then knight e4 or knight e5. I like this. I like this a lot. I can play c3. If he captures the knight, I take with the queen, and then bring the bishop back to d3 and still start aiming at h7 and just blow it up and make, you know, make a big point and point out the lack of development from black. They have like no development on the queen side. It's very passive and cramping, so you have to take advantage of that quickly. Let's see what he did. Bishop e3 though, he developed, and after b6, black's gonna have this long diagonal, which he can have, but let's see what happened. b6, knight e5, bishop e7. This knight's very useful on e5. That's why he moved it there quickly, and then play f4. Okay. You would love to rook lift, put a rook on f3, but unfortunately you just can't do that yet. Knight b to d7 and queen to e2. So now he plays queen e2 here. Now he plays queen e2. It's a little bit different. A little bit different. Next move, knight d5. Blunder, basically. Basically, say c5 is much more logical. Although rook a to d1 for white. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Rook a to d. I'm feeling great in this position. Okay. Queen e2, knight d5 was apparently bad though. And after knight to d5, snapping on d5, e takes d5. If bishop takes d5, not shunning the bishop and controlling an f square. Okay. So here, objectively speaking, guys, white just, this is a crushing position. What I'm going to do here, and this is just attacking one-on-one, rook f3, rook h3, sack everything, have a nice day. That's really exactly what this looks like here. Rook f3 gotta be played here. And actually, that's the next move. Rook f3 immediately, because if I get rook h3 in, I'm sacking on h7. I'm going to play queen h5. I can even sack on h7 right now. I'm threatening to sack on h7. Like if you do anything else, let's just play c5, for instance. Let's even do it here. c5, bishop takes, king takes, rook check. King here, queen here, and you can't stop the mate on h7 or h8, no matter what. Crushing. Crushing. You in trouble, start a new one, big fella. So, after knight takes d5, E takes d5. Rook f3. Now it says f5. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's strong, huh? That's a strong move. But I still probably, my intention now is rook h3 and g4. Rook h3 and g4 is the next thing. Rook h3 was the move. And then g6 and g4. There it is. But it says that they don't really like this too much. According to Lasker, vigorous and enterprising play. But in my view, debatable, to say the least. Hey, that's debatable, bro. So what else should have been played then? Okay, so knight takes, bishop c8. Oh, snap. Dang. Yeah, that's tough to see. So f takes is wrong, but that's what happened in the game. But better was this. Knight takes e5, takes, and then bishop c8. That is a strong move. That is very strong. And now you're almost like, what happened to my attack? I mean, what happened to the attack? Where is it? Where is the attack? It's not here anymore. This is scary. What's the evaluation here? It's equal. Equal though. G takes f5. Equal. Interesting. Okay, so let's go back. F takes g4 was the move in the game. And then here we go. Bam! Hit him with the move. Rook takes h7. Oh my goodness. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. That is Mr. Wilhelm Steinitz, first world champion. Rook takes h7. Hit that man with a move. Man, that is strong. Queen takes g4. I mean, it feels like it's not even ready yet, to be honest. I feel like he could defend this. Let's see what this says. The start of a bold combination, which brought Steinitz the Brilliancy Prize. But was the rook sacrifice correct? Did black not have a better defense, or white a bloodless way to win? After giving suggestions, blah, 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 I switched to my computer. I'm Fran, now reflected. I think that even the great Steinitz himself did not suspect how many exciting adventures remained off stage in this hit game. Man, look at all the sideline stuff, bro. First, it transpired from the simple queen takes g4. Then threatens that, right. Okay, and then it says knight takes e5, yeah, queen e6 check. So they're just covering literally every single line in here. Every single line in here. This is a lot. Let's actually see. Let's just look a little bit into it. Knight f6, queen g2, and then bishop c8, and then you sack on h7, and then you follow this sequence here. King h1. But more forcing is instead after bishop c8, you go, or sorry, instead of queen g2. Queen to e6 check. After king g7, f5. f5 is a scary move. What? f5? Are you serious? My queen's trapped. Or almost. Queen c6. So you check him. Oh, then bring the knight in. Here come the big fella. Oh my goodness. Front door is open. Give me everything. Whoa, boy, that was nasty. Did you see the combos there? Wow. Hitting. I mean... check. Bam. Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. Wow. Queen g7 mate. That was beautiful. Man. Okay. So then they said, well, knight takes e5. And this is what we kind of just looked at though, right? Oh, this is a little bit different. There's so many lines in here. This is a correct move. D takes e5. Okay. Wow. So, second, it was confirmed that the rook sacrifice wins, although this is a more thorny path to the goal. Okay, so after rook sack, the knight took on e5. And then f takes e5. And then he said, I'm taking it. You got to show me. You have to show me. You are down a full rook here, big fella. A full rook. With that being said. A full rook, my dude. That is tough. I do not believe in this. What does this engine say? Oh my goodness. I mean, y'all see it here. You see it right here. I can't make this up. This does not feel right. But I guess it is. Like, it just feels like you're missing one piece. Like, something's wrong. But apparently there's not. I guess because the bishop's the way that they're pointing here. Huh. This is something to use for other games, guys. Like a Scandinavian or any kind of like French-like position like this. I think that's pretty awesome, honestly. I think it's amazing. Okay. This is beautiful. Let's turn the engine on. King takes G7. Queen takes G4, Rook G8. I thought so too. This is that loses without questions. This loses without any questions. Who thought that? Raise your hand if you thought that was going to happen. I thought that was the only move. Actually, Rook F5 was the best move, apparently. Oh, that would have been bad too. Yeah, they both lose. So takes, King G7. If King H8, you got Queen H5. And you have a mating net. Alright, let's see it. I mean, let's see it, guys. King G7. Check. Well, this is an easy one. This is an easy one. So if he goes back here... Wait a second. Wait a second. It's easy if they go here. That's me, right? But, hold on. We gotta figure this out, bro. We gotta see this right now. Queen takes. If King H8, Queen H5. And now, King G7, mate in 8. That's why it's not easy. It's mate in 8. Makes sense now. Okay, Bishop... what is it? King H1 now. I figured it has something to do with that, but it just feels like the bishop should go first for some reason. The King H1, the queen cuts off this whole diagonal here. So he can't cross. The pawn helps to capture this one. And if he goes here, he still can't go that way. And we have that kind of covered. So all we need is one piece to check. Does that make sense? Okay, that makes total sense. Now, after King G7, King H1. Yeah, here it is. The black king is finished off by a rook on G1. Best defense is Queen E8. Here, actually, white put a play accurately. Queen H5. You can't take it, guys, because it's pinned. King G7. Bishop. Wait, sorry. King G7. Queen H6. King G8. Taking. Rook F7. King H1. Wow, this is crazy. Oh my goodness. What's the eval, bro? It's +5. Man, this is crazy. I love these kind of games. Queen H. But he could always block. Bishop G7, can he? Man, this is crazy. Okay, so it's Queen H5. Let's see it. Let's see it, because there's a lot of ideas. Queen H5, Bishop G7. We know that's about to happen. Bishop G7. Okay, let's go back there. Bishop F8, Queen H5. There we go. Yeah, actually, it's my fault. Queen H5, Bishop G7. Now it's Rook G1. And then Queen E6. Queen H7. King F8. Takes. Ooh, hit him! Hit him! Rook takes G7, Bishop H6. Start a new one. Dang, that's nice, man. Tactics win games. Tactics win games. It's going to be very exciting to cover these Wilhelm Steinitz games here on the channel. Man, this is nice. This is nice to see. I've never actually went through some of these games here. So, first time going through these games with you guys. So, let's see. What's up? King to G8. Oh, yeah, we already looked at this. Okay, so let's go back to the main move. Rook G8 loses on the spot. So, before we move forward, let's actually see if we can find it. Looks like Queen H5. King G7. Whoa. Okay, maybe not. Okay, hold up. What do we do? Queen H5, King G7. If we take on G6, right? All right, let's see this. Queen H5, King G7. Taking here, he can go King H8, and now he's laughing at you. You're looking crazy. So, it would have to be like... H5. Queen H3. King G7. Queen H6, King F7. Okay. What did he play? Oh my goodness. What did he play? Rook G8. He played Queen H5, King G7. Queen H6, King F7, Queen H7. Yeah, but King E6 is annoying. That's what I don't like. King E6, Queen H3. Boy, that's a big boy move. That is that, because that was annoying. The king can get away, but then he said, "No, you're not getting away. Not today." Then I'm gonna hit you with a rook check, and then now I kind of got you in a slight box here. But we still, it's a finesse. It's not like a quick one, like you just, oh, bam, bam, bam. This one is a finesse. As you see, Queen H3. King F7, and then I'm assuming rook check, right? Yep, rook F1, King E8, and Queen E6. I saw this, but if we get to F7, he goes King D7. So if, like, we check him, he's going to be able to go King D7. But we still have to do that. Man, this is tough. But the rook's hanging, right? Yeah, the rook's hanging. Okay, so rook G7, Bishop G5, just keeping the pressure up. Queen D7. Snapping on g6, snapping again. Oh, that's mate, right? Takes, king d8. Oh, that's it. Rook f8, queen e8. Hit him with the mate. Wow, that was a great game. Games that were deemed brilliant in recent international tournaments were no match for this one. Declared Chigorin back in 1890. Wow, that was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. Dang, what a display of Scandi mastery. So that's something you can do in a Scandi, guys. That literally is something that you can do in the Scandi. Put the bishops on d3 and e3. And then attack him on that side. Yeah, that was nice. Let's see that again. One more time from the start here. Let's go up here. Much easier. One more time, and then we'll look at one more game. Takes, nice c3, queen d8, d4. Yes, e6, bishop d3, castles, and put the bishop on e3. Knight e5, f4. Then he played queen e2. Yeah, so he played more of a just like a solid get my pieces all set up first, and then he started to go for mate, rook f3 stuff. These are my favorite kind of positions here, and it got kind of wild too. But this is something to know, something to play like in the future for you. Next game is same guy, Wilhelm Steinitz. Well, the same guy he played. Of course, we're looking at Steinitz games here. Wilhelm Steinitz versus a Mangradian. So, double fianchetto here. Okay, let's see it. E4, G6. We got a modern. D4, bishop G7. Let's see how he faced the modern. C3. This is a typical Steinitz. More than anything, he is careful not to end up with weak pawns in the center, says Max Yu, another former world champion. C3. And after C3, okay, there's B6 on the board. Double fianchetto. Bishop E3, bishop B7, knight D2. D6, knight G to F3. These setups are usual. You could play this many different ways with the white pieces, guys. Many different ways. And I'm curious. I like what I'm seeing here. It's just something different from not what we're used to. Not what we're used to in like the modern or the hippo type setups, which could be very hard to face sometimes. E5, and they actually is not a good move. They say not pretty good. Much sounder was knight D7. That is actually in a modern book, 2020 stuff. That is and some theory on the modern. I studied the modern a little bit just to get some more flexibility in King's Indian defense positions. His modern does have a bishop on G7, and I saw some definitely underrated opening. I will say that modern is extremely underrated. So after knight to D7 is one of the key ideas, playing C5 as well. But he actually played E5 here, which I'm definitely not familiar with. And after E5, we have D takes E5, shutting down a G7 bishop. That makes sense. 100% shut it down. Bishop looks crazy here. You're going to have to play F5, which could be very committal, especially if I put a bishop on C4. That's exactly what he did, and I understand it because it's a beautiful move. Beautiful diagonal, keeps the bishop shut down. You need to play F5, and especially if you're castling, you're going to have to put the king on H8. That makes weaknesses. Knight comes to G5, E6 since F7 is hanging. H4, H5 can happen. Take on G6, mates with the king on H8. All from the bishop being on C4, guys. So bishop C4, knight to E7. Because said queen E7 was essential. I don't know what. You know how many people playing knight E7 in this position? Essential is what he said. So what are we playing? Like H4? Is it GG? Queen E2. Wow. It says commentators missed. Dang, that was it. That was like winning. It gives a decisive advantage after snaps. Queen B3. Knight D5 because of king E8, knight to G5. So how is this like stupid crushing? Like, I don't get it. I mean, now I get it, but like, what about rook G8? Check. And then what? Okay, let's see this. Check and then what? Oh, it's not even checking. Castle queenside. So you just busted. Man, that makes a lot of sense, guys. That comes around with initiative over activity. Or, I'm sorry, initiative and activity over, like, material. So if I have initiative, I just sacked a piece. Sacrificed it for a pawn. I did get one, but you got three. And I just have initiative. The king is looking crazy. He can't castle. He in the center of the board. The light squares are weak around the king, and I can castle queenside and cut off and mate soon. That's nice. Queen E2 though. Castles and then h4. There it is. Yeah. You always got to get this h4 set up when that kind of thing is happening. Interesting. He didn't play c5 either out of the opening, which you see a lot in modern openings and stuff like that. c5. So this game probably could have been a little different if c5 was on the board. h4, and the best move, or not the best move, the move that was played in the game was knight to d7. Then we have h5. Yeah, guys, I just was talking about this, right? Put the bishop on c4, play h4, h5, take it, play maybe knight h4, put the pieces on that side of the board. Something's gonna happen. Just put them over there. And you should castle queenside, maybe even rook lift, play rook h3, and swing the d rook over to the h file. This is decisive. I mean, I don't see this going more than another 10 moves. h5, c5, snap, snap. Ugly move, because it says if h takes g6, knight g5. Man, this is getting nasty. It's coming. Here it is. Castle queenside. Queen c7 was bad position. For example, knight d to f3. Also good was rook h4. That's my kind of move, and then doubling. But knight takes castle queenside, and then a6 was played. Hard to make good moves in a bad position because they're saying like this was not that good either. He should have played this, but like it's hard to play this. You're trying not to get mated right now. You're trying not to get mated. Knight g5, knight f6, and not h6 because I'm taking on f7. Snap and queen g4. Man, talk about sacrificing. He was like towel before towel almost. Like this is ridiculous. Just sacking. Castle queenside, a6, and then knight g5, and then knight f6. Okay, so this is where we are. And here again, another sacrifice. Knight takes h7. Okay, so let's look at this. Oh, that does work. Dang, that's sweet. That does work. If knight takes queen h5, we're hitting the knight, and we're also hitting both knights because g6 is hanging too due to the pin again on c4. That pin is for a win. Knight takes h7. Rook takes h7. Okay, stop it. Stop it. I thought it was queen h5. This can't work. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, he gonna play rook h1 and hit that man in his face. Why he do him like that? The right way. Queen h5 also gave an advantage, but not a decisive one. After knight f6, queen takes, queen c8. Wow, bro, that is crazy. He was like, hit him, and then hit him again. Oh man, rook takes h7, king takes h7. Beautiful. Queen h5, king g8, and rook h1. Rook e8, snap, snap. Or actually snap and queen f6. Okay, let's look at this. What do we have, folks? What would I do if I was Wilhelm Steinitz? I would play queen h7 and maybe rook h6 or bishop h6. Okay, let's see. Bishop takes f7. I saw this. Oh, and then you just play rook h8. Oh, come on. This is simple. Oh my goodness. So at first I was already looking at rook h8, right? Because I've done this before, and it's always a common theme. Imagine, just for a minute, guys, imagine if the bishop's on the same diagonal as the queen here, and you play rook h8 right now. The king would have to take it, and then you play queen h7, and it's mate, right? But you always have that idea in mind. And then I was like, well, taking on f7, I just forgot about it. Like rook h8 after taking on f7. So we're either winning material or actually we sacked a piece. So what if he goes king f8? What if he just moves the king? If king f8, take it, take back, check. What? Check? What am I missing? What am I missing? No, what about... Oh, he can't block with the bishop. Bro, this is gross. This man was nasty. People do not give him enough credit. Wilhelm Steinitz was gross. I mean, he was so good, bro. Bishop h6 check. That was a nasty sequence. Man, that was sweet. Tactics win games. These are my favorite kind of things to do. Dang, bro. Okay, king f8. That would have been sweet. Wow. All right, so queen f7, rook h8. King takes, queen takes, and white won. It didn't say how. Yeah, so that's the game. So let's read a little bit here. It says the aggressive and inventive style of the Steinitz, who had been raised in the German school of combination, pleased the English amateurs, for they were able to learn a great deal from him, just as conversely Steinitz did from their more solid play, writes Lasker. From the imaginative, heroic temper of Anderson's combinative style, the large vision, systematic position play of the English school, a synthesis rose in the mind of Steinitz, which was destined to make history. That's awesome. This man was awesome, guys. I am impressed myself going through this game. Like, bro, Wilhelm Steinitz was sacking everything. That's why he played the King's Gambit. That's why his tactics was razor sharp. I mean, we about to go through some more games. Absolutely, guys. We're going to have more videos, but this is the first one here. And thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe. Put some comments under the video if you like the video, and share this video. Also, I'll leave a link to Forward Chess, how you can combine this book and the board together, so you guys can actually check out how I'm doing this too as well. So appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe, hit the like button, all that other stuff, and I'll see you guys on the next video.